Hello guys, welcome again to another BTC video. I hope you are doing great today. We have a very good, interesting video for you today, guys. So please stick around till the end of the video because it's going to get very informational and very, very interesting. With that said, I'm going to jump straight to the charts. But obviously, before I start, please like, share, and subscribe so we can make this channel grow and so I could, keep providing this information for all of you. Anyways, let's get started with the charts. Obviously, last time in my previous BTC video, I was telling you guys that I'm expecting a double bottom formation to be formed here for BTC. I'm expecting this wave 4 formation to take longer than this wave 2 formation with a double bottom forming and then a potential move to the upside. With that being said, our double bottom hit perfectly actually, so you can see it in the charts right here. Yesterday, our second bottom was placed here. We have some good news and we have some bad news related to this double bottom. So let me just get started first with a macro analysis for BTC, which is basically the bad news. So I'm going to jump to the weekly time frame and just show you what I'm seeing here on the weekly. So obviously we are getting squeezed between this range right here. That is between around $47,200 and around $44,000. So that range right there. And this is basically what's going to happen for I'm going to assume the next couple of days, like 6 to 7 days, I think, probably before any type of a move to the upside. Maybe less, maybe more. I'm not very good with Gann theory, so I cannot really predict the timing accurately, but I am pretty good with levels. So what I'm seeing right here, obviously on the weekly time frame, if you pop up your 18 and 30 EMAs, you will see where we are right now. So this is basically a breakout from the EMAs, a retest, and then hopefully a bounce from here, which it should happen. Obviously, if we do fail to hold this, especially on the weekly closes, this is going to be more downside basically for BTC. Now the downside could be very well likely again to this level, forming a huge Elliott 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I have to analyze again if this is happening. For now, I'm really waiting patiently for weekly close, which happens this Sunday, by the way. Just remember, this is a weekly candle. So in this weekly candle, you can have chip chop price action, which I'm expecting, by the way, for the next couple of days, with a dip towards the 30 EMA, which is coming with the 18 EMA actually, which is coming in around $43,800 around that area, and then hopefully a bounce from here. The weekly candle will give us more data and more information regarding where this is going, if it's going to the upside or to the downside. But most likely a weekly close above these EMAs will probably signal a strong move to the upside followed. Whereas a weekly close under the EMAs, like I said, might retrace us slightly further, consolidate, then have another bull trap, and then drop finally with a big crash. So the scenarios are very hard to read right now. On the macro time frames, because like I said, we are in a bear market. Even though we've escaped the macro downtrend that was happening around this area, we're still in a monthly downtrend rather than an uptrend. And usually there's more downside than upside with a monthly downtrend. But that doesn't really mean that we're going to do this. I still believe at least it could be something like this, and then we drop after, or something like this, chip chop, and then we drop after. So I still think the bull trap needs to finalize. I think it's not finalized yet. The indicators on the weekly time frame still haven't signaled anything for this bull trap being over. I still think this bull trap has some gas left in it, but obviously, like I said, it could get very choppy before we reach that top area for the bull trap, before that severe crash that I'm expecting, because I am expecting a big crash. Now the timing of the crash, I cannot be the big crash. I cannot be very sure. Like I said, we could drop like this around 14th of April from where we are towards around I don't know, maybe 40K again, and that would on its own would be a very strong pullback as well. Let's just check the measurements here. Around 20% dip maybe. So it is a pullback. It is a strong correction. 20% is very strong for BTC. But this is not the main crash that I see. The main crash that I see is around the bull trap region. So if this does this, and we go to the bull trap region, and then we drop from there, this is where your severe crash is coming to basically fruition. A very, very big crash, maybe towards the 25, 26K level, and then a bounce from there to the upside. Whereas if we do hold this area right here, then most likely what's going to happen is a move to the upside with an LEO formation, and then a consolidation around the top, and then a severe crash around that area. And these two scenarios obviously will give us two different timings. So I cannot be very, very sure for the timing, but for what I can tell you definitely is sell in May and go away. This is what I'm expecting, but whether it's going to be the strong pullback in May or the, this 20% pullback or this super dip, super crash that I'm seeing, I cannot be very sure. We need the data obviously to be analyzing this. Now the macro time frames, this is what I see. We're still bearish on the monthly. On the weekly, we're still having that leg up to the bull trap region, in my opinion, but it's gonna probably take some time to play out. Whereas on the daily time frame, the 3-day is still not bearish yet, but the daily time frame is bearish. It has been bearish since that $48,000 top around this area. And I did tell my Discord members, by the way, to try to get out here, not because I was expecting a strong crash or a strong push up, because we still didn't really have any data around $48,000, but the only reason is because whether this is going to do this or that, dominance will shift from altcoins to Bitcoin. And either way, when dominance shifts, usually you lose, the altcoins lose their value basically, and then the dominance goes towards BTC more. Whether the dominance will push BTC to the upside or to the downside, no one knows for sure. You need breakout confirmation, and this is what happened yesterday. We had a breakout, but there was no confirmation because the retest was a fake out. And I did really post this on Twitter, on Discord as well, on my private Discord. So daily time frame is still bearish. It's still not signaling any type of upside move. What I'm expecting though, like I said, I'm expecting these EMAs to be reached around 43,860, and I'm expecting more of a triple bottom or an inverse Bart Simpson to be forming. So something similar to this, some type of consolidation like this, or something very similar to this as well, because we're kind of forming some type of descending triangle, by the way. As you can see, like this, you have your declined trend line, your resistance trend line, and then you have a potential horizontal level of support around $44,000. So I think this might play out again with a strong move to the upside. And obviously, I was when I was posting, when I did my BTC analysis earlier, I was telling you guys that I was expecting a double bottom. The double bottom did form, but the problem is that the indicators are still showing downside, especially one of the main time frame, which is the 6-hour time frame, which is considered is it the 6 or let me just check which time frame so I can be pretty accurate for you guys. 4-hour no, 6-hour no, 12 hours no, 8 hours. Let's see. So yeah, so basically the 6-hour, the 8-hour, and the 12-hour still haven't finalized their correction. Basically, we might potentially form a bullish divergence here if we do dip to 43,800, and I think that's going to happen. I think there will be a bounce there no matter what. Whether this bounce will be strong enough to take us to the upside will depend on the daily. So what I'm expecting here for the daily is for something called the consolidation rule to play out, where basically you bounce over the 20 stochastic and then start moving upwards. If you do fail to manage, or if you do fail to hold this 20 level on the stochastic daily, then the correction will probably be more strong than where we are right now. So probably we will dip even lower. The only problem with this, from an Elliott wave perspective, it's natural. You have a strong wave 1, then a strong retrace of a wave 2, which could take you down to like $40,000. But the problem is that you're dipping under resistance again, so this trend line right here, which is in the bottom, should be holding as support. It should be support. That's why, like I was saying earlier, I would like on the daily time frame to reach $43,800, and then on even dip slightly below. It doesn't really matter, but I would really want the weekly candle close, which is this one right here on the charts, right there, to close above these EMAs, so above 44,600. and 44,000. So the 44.5K region, I would really like the weekly close to be above that. It will signal strength. It will signal that our weekly indicators, our EMAs are holding. Our support is holding, obviously, which is our support trend line, and which might give us our leg to the upside. But if it doesn't, and we do manage to close below it, and I'm just gonna pop up the Fibonacci retracements and just show you where we are right now. We are at the 0.382. And that's why we're holding this. It's pretty strong level of support. So you have two EMA confluence, you have a trend line which is also a confluence with that support region, and you have the 0.382 Fibonacci ratio that is also a confluence. So this area is a strong bouncing area. If we do close under this area, especially a weekly candle, so a weekly close under $44,000, most likely will signal more correction for this wave 1, wave 2. So now you'll probably have macro 1, macro 2. And then macro 2, obviously, like I said earlier, it could retrace all the way down to 85%. Wave 2s can. At the same time, wave 2s can retrace 0.382%. So there's no real fixed rule for this. But what we can do is track our indicators to tell us, like, okay, it's time to go up. Till now, there's no such sign. The only two signs that I can guarantee for a leg up is A, stochastic bounce on the daily time frame above 20 level. If you see that stochastic bouncing around the 20 level on the daily time frame, then most likely your wave 2 has finalized. If we do manage to fail that stochastic level, so we basically drop below it and then basically close a weekly under $44,000, then most likely this will head towards the golden pocket region. So I would really say around this area, around 42K, there should be a nice bounce, which is between the 0.5 and the 0.618. And then you will have your wave 3, and then your 4, and then your 5. Obviously, I don't know where the 5 could go. But what I can guarantee, if this formation does play out, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can tell you that your wave 3, so depending where this goes, so let's say if it goes to 42, then your wave 3 could take you all the way up to $60,000 on the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, $53,000. And if this does go slightly lower, so let's say to this area, then your wave 3 could take you for a best scenario of 59K, and then a worst case scenario of 52K. So, and after obviously that wave 3 is formed, you will have your wave 4 formation around, let's say something like this, which is preferable. So maybe a pump to 53 or 55, and then a drop to 48 to confirm it as support, or 50K region to confirm it as support. Actually, it has to be 50K. We cannot have it below wave 1. And then obviously finalizing your wave 5. Now your wave 5 could take you, and I will show you this. Let me just see this. Oh, not this one. Let's take I think it's here. Yeah. So if we do hold 50K as support, then your wave 5 could take you to $61,000, or it could be a truncated 5, similar to what happened here, because I think this top right here is a 3 and this one is a truncated 5, so slightly higher than the previous low. My best guess is we're going for in a best case scenario, we're going for a drop, a pump to 53, a drop from that region, a pump to 55, 56 tops, and then your bull trap finalizes. That's, I think, the most conservative, unbiased levels without being too bearish or bullish. Okay. Worst case scenario, and this is the absolute worst, is that we just go for a double top at 53, or even 50. And that's probably it. So you go to your wave 3 to 53, you drop to, like, I don't know, 49 or something, and then you pump up again to 53, and then you fail to hold it as fail to break it, and then you just drop from there, forming a double top scenario. Obviously, all of these are scenarios that I have in my brain. The only confirmations that I will get is when key levels are broken and when my indicators are telling me basically the trap is over or the drop is here. For now, I can tell you that I am tracking definitely the weekly time frame, the stochastic RSI on the weekly and the stochastic RSI on the 3-day chart. I would really like this to bounce, basically. Really want this to bounce over 80. As you can see, if we bounce, we could get a double top scenario. But if we do fail to hold this stochastic level with a close of the signal line and the stochastic line on the 3-day chart below 80 level, that most likely will tell us that the correction is going to be very strong, stronger than we anticipate as well. So stronger even than 40K. So probably dip down again to the lows around 35 and then start moving from there. So we will have to wait and see. For now, weekly for now, the summary that I'm waiting for, this, well, to summarize for you guys, is I'm waiting for a weekly close above the 18 and 30 EMA. So I really want a weekly above $44,000 at least bare minimum weekly candle close. On the micro time frames, like the 4 hour, or you can mid micro time frames like the daily, I would expect a pullback to around 43,800 in a worst case scenario, or chip shop consolidation over the next few days over that 44K region with a small wick to like 43.5 or something, and then a bounce after that. Obviously, we need this to play out, and we need to allow it to time to play out. I'd give this 5 days to finalize. I think after 5 days, I think this will probably be, so after the weekly close, basically we will know the direction of this. But that's what you need to pay attention to. A weekly close is the most important thing to understand whether we're going to head up or down. If we fail to hold these EMAs on the weekly, then most likely we're heading lower towards the best case scenario of 42, and a worst case scenario towards like 38 or 39, basically. If we do manage to close the weekly candle above these EMAs, and if the indicators are finalized with a correction, obviously I will update you again if I can, then most likely we'll move to the upside, finalizing our wave 5 formation, which I think will consist of a truncated fifth, by the way. But obviously all of this will need time, will need data, will need information. Micro analysis for now, the micro time frames, like the 4 hours, which will tell us where we head in the couple of next, like a day or two. Like I said, I'm still expecting this to go down towards 43,800 on the daily time frame and on the micro time frame analysis. So 43.8, yeah, like 43.6, around that area, and then I expect to bounce there. Whether that bounce will take us above $44,000 and put a weekly close above that area, which will give us a leg up, is uncertain till now. We will allow the indicators to play out, and then the indicators will tell us, basically. So I will keep you up to date on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, guys. I post a lot of stuff there. I posted about the 44.4K drop. I posted about the potential breakout, fake out, retest and fake out drop, which happened, basically. So I was telling you guys on Twitter, if we do manage to fail, or if we do manage to fail the retest, and we close a 4-hour candle under the trend line, then most likely our bottom isn't here yet. And on my Discord, actually, I told them if we fail to hold this trend line, we will go to 44.4, 44.8. So it's going to be still in play, that region that I've been looking out for a long time. So we will have to wait and see, honestly. There's a lot of scenarios. Couple of days we will know more information and more direction for now. But as of now, I don't think the pullback is over. It still needs some time. And yeah, so take care, guys. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below. If you want to inquire about my private paid Discord, where I do post a lot and I'm active there most of the time, giving more information, more details, you can inquire about it as well via my private Telegram, link in the description below as well. So that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the analysis. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.